So that's why Paul, not only Paul, if you go to an Orthodox rabbi now, you say, I'm a Gentile, I want to become a Jew. He say, why? You don't need to be, I want to get saved. You don't need to become a Jew to get saved. We have enough problems of our own. We don't need your problems. Jewish rabbis are not in a hurry to convert anybody, unless there are some crook rabbis that will charge you for the conversion. But legally, a rabbi should not charge for conversion or for circumcision or for any of his services. There is no such a thing as a price for conversion. If you have to pay, the rabbi is a crook. So, that's Paul's position. His position is you don't need to become a Jew to be saved. But these opponents of Paul, that we read about them in Galatians, in all of the letters, these opponents of Paul wanted to boast in the flesh. That's the language that Paul uses in his letters, especially Galatians. They wanted to boast in the flesh, and in Galatians chapter 6, he tells you two reasons why they wanted to boast in the flesh. One is to escape persecution. The other one is to boast in the flesh, to show off, I am a Jew also. Look at me, I'm a Jew. Yeah. That's why they wanted to convert to Judaism. And many of them converted and rejected the Messiah as a result of their conversion. This happens today too. What does it mean to escape persecution? From Galatians chapter 6. Judaism was a religio licita. It was a legal religion in the Roman Empire. When Rome conquered the nation, they accepted the local religion of the local population as a part of the legal religion of Rome. So Judaism was a legal religion. But what was forbidden? There were two kinds of religions forbidden. Secret sects, new religions, they were forbidden. So here you have a Gentile Roman centurion. And he ran around with his buddies and went to the temples and to the Vestal Virgins and, went carousing with them. And suddenly, he stops. He no longer goes to the pagan temples. He no longer runs around with his buddies. He is now changed. He changes his demeanor, his behavior, his dietary customs. He joined a sect. He joined a new religion. It's against the law for a Gentile to convert. Islam until today has the same law. It's called Minya in Islam. Yeah, if they conquer a nation, they allow the people to remain Muslim, to remain whatever they are until they're forced to convert to Islam. But if somebody changes, a Muslim converts to another religion, he could have his head cut off, even today. So that's why people, Gentiles who wanted to convert to Judaism so that they'll escape the persecution as people who have joined a secret sect or a new religion that they were not part of it before. And the other one is boasting in the flesh, means they wanted to be a part of the in-group. That's what was the case. Both of these things are not legal. They're not right. So back to Paul's opponents. Why am I spending so much time on Paul's opponents? Because this is one of the main issues in understanding the Apostle Paul. Who were his opponents? Why were they opposing him? They were opposing him because of this thing that we read in 1 Corinthians 7, where Paul says, if you're a Jew, remain a Jew. If you're not a Jew, don't become a Jew. Why? The work of the Messiah is universal. It's universal from the time of Abraham. All of Israel's role in history and in the election of Israel as the chosen people of God was not for the sake of Israel alone. It was always for the sake of all the world. When God called Abraham in chapter 12 of Genesis, he said, in you all the nations of the world will be blessed. And that promise is given in chapter 12 and chapter 13 and chapter 15 and chapter 17 and chapter 18 and chapter 22, and repeated in chapter 25 to Isaac and then repeated to Jacob. Israel was not the chosen people of God in order to boast. It was in order to be a light to the nations. And through Jesus Christ, that light of Abraham and Isaac and Jacob and Moses and King David came to the Gentiles. Jesus Christ is the instrument of God to bring the good news to the world. He is the instrument of God to bring the pagans out of paganism and into faith in one God. That's the work of Jesus Christ, and that's the work of the Apostle Paul. He asked the question in Romans 3:29. He asked the question, is God the God of the Jews only? If he's the God of the Jews only, let all the Gentiles get circumcised. I didn't bring my knife today. Yeah.